Hello, I am Michaela Baguette, and this is my reflection of the semester. So, my top 3 learning points that I learned over the semester are having a positive relationship with your students can go a long way. And this is meaningful because the better you know your students, the better you will know how to teach them. And if you genuinely care about your students, they will show you care and respect back. And if you have a good, positive relationship with your students, they will trust you, and you'll be able to trust them to make their own decisions and to get their homework in on time and to maybe have some cleanup responsibilities around the classroom. You just will be able to assign them more tasks, and they'll have the responsibility as a student to fulfill them. Next is your lesson plans don't always go as planned. Sometimes the plans change and sometimes things just don't work out the way you thought they were going to. But it's how you get through those and how you solve the problem and learn from it is what matters. I think that's what's meaningful, is that you learn from your mistakes, because that's what you're going to remember when you succeed at a lesson plan. You won't think much about it because it went well, but when you something falls apart or your lesson plan just didn't work how you thought it was going to, it will stick in the back of your mind, and the next time you plan to do a lesson like that, you might change it, or you change something about it to hopefully make it succeed. And next is not having the support that you need from the parents at home can negatively affect the work that you have done with your student at the school. Now, you're not always going to know exactly what's going on, but I think as a teacher, you should be there for the student in as many ways as possible. And even if sometimes you work with a student all day, all week, sometimes it's not going to work out for the better, because when they go home from school, they don't get the support that they need from their parents or whoever they live with, that the work that you're doing with them at school doesn't carry on because they're not getting the support that they need at home. This is meaningful because you may be working your butt off as a teacher, but if they don't get home and get their parents don't care to push them at all, your work just might relapse. Something that was inspiring to me over this semester was my host teacher. She was really, really amazing with her students. Because I was in there for an hour or two every day, I went probably around 6 or 7 times, and I was able to see her, on multiple different occasions, and she always had a smile on her face, and she was always, being very nice and respectable towards her students, and the students knew what was expected of them, so there was a two-way street going on of what they needed to be done. I aspire to be like her when I am a teacher. I aspire to be compassionate and trustworthy with my students. She was very nice, and when anything happened in the classroom that shouldn't have happened, she would address it directly and move past it. Something that surprised me was some of the behaviors in the classroom. Because I was in a special ed resource classroom, the number of kids in the class would vary day to day. But Miss Parks had a steady hold of her class, and they knew what was needed to be done while they were in her classroom. Miss Parks would address the problems directly, and the students knew what was expected of them during the lessons. Now, a couple days that I was there, there were some students who weren't there on other days, and they were older than the students that were originally there. She had third and fourth graders there every day that I got to see. And one day these fifth and sixth graders came in, and they were being a lot more disruptive and not as respectable as they should have been in the classroom. But Miss Parks directly addressed the problem, and she got to move on and teach her lesson plan to the third and fourth graders. I hope to use what I've learned throughout the semester to further my skills as an educator. I learned a lot in my field observations, and I plan to apply what I've learned into my internship and into my first teaching job, and hopefully throughout all the years to come when I'm teaching. I hope to be a teacher like Miss Parks, and I hope that all of her students, they love and respect me just like they do her. I think that having such a good teacher, a host teacher to go in and watch, was a big part of this semester. I am really happy that I got to go and observe a third and fourth grade class, because that's what I want to teach. That's the age group that I would love to teach. And in a different class, I did some field observations in a preschool class, and although they're very cute and very happy and adorable, I think I would like to teach an older age group. I think third grade or fourth grade is perfect for me, and I really enjoyed doing work in Miss Park's classroom. She was very nice and very welcoming to me into her classroom, and I appreciate her very much for letting me in there and come like 7 different times. She was very flexible, and she just seemed like a great teacher. I was very happy for the students that she had to be able to have her as a teacher. I wish I had someone like her when I was younger, because I had some really amazing teachers growing up, but they all seemed to be men teachers. I didn't really have a good female teacher until I was in 7th grade, and that's part of the reason that I aspire to be a teacher today, is because I had so many male teachers growing up, and although I loved all of them, I wish I had a female teacher growing up when I was younger in elementary school to turn to and to have as, you know, someone I could talk to or someone I felt comfortable with. And I think Miss Parks does a great job, and I'm glad I got placed into her classroom, and I hope to be a teacher like her someday.